Turn is a blank. I don't know, 3 of clubs, something useless. So this time, we all check to the button. The button's thinking, oh, he didn't bet even though I re-raised. Maybe it's because I re-raised. Well, I've still got top set, and that card was a blank on the turn, so I'm going to bet. One person folds, one person calls. Well, one person calls, one person folds, then I call. So now there's 3 people in the pot. We go to the river, and I get my jack. So I've made my straight. Now the nuts is queen 9. It wasn't a jack of hearts. The nuts is queen 9, but nobody has queen 9. First of all, queen 9 is not a bad hand to play in a 6-handed game, but these people are still playing like it's a full ring game. And this has been a very tight table. I neglected to mention that. In a tight table, if you have queen 9, you do not play it. There have been, I would say, 20% of the hands where the blind's chopped. There have been another 20% of hands where there's no action past the flop. So there's been probably another 10% of hands where someone raised before the flop and everyone folded. That's half the hands. In a game like that, nobody's playing queen 9 offsuit. Or, well, you know, queen 9 suited, they probably still wouldn't play anyway. It's just that kind of game. So I feel pretty safe with mine. Plus, of course, with queen 9, they would have had a gut shot on the flop. And remember, who would have queen 9? The blind. Well, the small blind bet out on the flop. The small blind is not going to bet out on the flop with a gut shot straight and 2 overcards. Some would. This small blind, he would not. Very tight player. Very unimaginative player. So, there's 3 of us, jack on the river. I've got my straight. But let's think about the button for a minute. Remember, I'm in the middle position now with the 3 of us. Think about the button for a minute. She raised on the flop twice. She wants control of this hand. She must have top set. Or any set. Maybe she didn't have top set. She would have raised with 9s before the flop, and she didn't. I don't know. Well, not 9s. The flop was it. The 10. So maybe she had pocket 10s. I don't think so. She would have raised. So maybe she had middle set. Even with notes, it's hard to tell a poker story. On the turn, we all checked to her. She bet. We all called. So she thinks she's best. She's got no reason to think that she's not best because I came along like a jackass and did a smooth call and then a re-raise. But then when she re-raised me, did I make it 20? No. I didn't make it 20. I wanted her to think she still had the best hand. Maybe well, of course she had the best hand. I had a draw still. So when the river hits, she's perfectly set up for a check raise. Now the thing is, you don't normally check raise on the river when you're second to last to act, because often the last person to act on the river just kind of flips the cards over and says, oh, this is what I have. No one likes to bet on the river in last position because they don't want to be check raised. But she was so sure she had the best hand because of how everything played out. She said, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bet. So the first guy calls, the small blind guy. And then I check raise, and everyone really comes out of their chair because the smooth call re-raise guy just check raised on the river. And it's like, what is he doing? Does he have a straight? Then why would he raise on the flop? But I don't understand. Does he have a set? He doesn't have a flush. So the button, who has done all of this aggressive action the entire hand, folds. You don't fold to a single raise on the river. There's like 18 bets in the pot. You always have to assume there's a 10% chance someone's bluffing. If you get better than 10 to 1 on the river, you call with anything unless you have a high card. Because if they're bluffing, you're going to win. And people bluff more often than that. So she folds and the small blind calls because the small blind is probably thinking that. I want to see what this guy has. Plus, what if I'm bluffing, right? I mean, who knows? So I flip over my 9-7 for the straight. And the entire table goes on tilt for like 20 minutes. Mutter, mutter, mutter. Oh, man, I can't believe. And because everyone else is in their 50s, and I'm sitting there, you know, at 33, and the way the 6-handed at a 10-seat table, there's going to be empty chairs. Well, the empty chairs happen to all be closer to me. So everyone on my left is like commiserating among each other, going, I can't believe what he did. What the hell is going on here? Oh, my God. Rah, rah. So anyway, I won like a $130 pot in a 4-8 game, which is pretty hard to do, with 9-7 offsuit at a short-handed table. And it was probably one of the 5 best poker hands I've ever played, and I may not get to do that again in my life, maybe one more time. It was something else, I tell you. Uh-oh, I think the end of the hand got cut off. Man, that would suck. That's all the time we have today. Visit us on the web at joelshitshow.com. Email joel@joelshitshow.com. Oh, gee.